I think at core, those are anti-Socratic machines. And by that I mean they turn the Socratic idea of what it means to be a human being from their foot to their head. Because Socrates did start with a question. And the chatbot as a machine only has answers. It has not a question of its own, which is very important. You have to imagine that this is something that pretends to have all the answers without having one question. It's a strange machine. And I think it is very important for our life form that we realize that our life form as human beings is based on questions and not answers. And the second point about this chatbot is that Socrates did know that he didn't know anything. I know that I don't know anything. The chatbot doesn't know even that. Nor does he care.
As you were saying here.
Yes, this is also very interesting. The Socratic dialogues end with the fact that no one has an answer to the question. Even when the chatbot does not have an answer, the machine pretends to have a precise answer. He gives you just some kind of bullshit in the most authoritative tone to say, okay, I have the answer. It spits it out. So there's not even the option of not giving an answer. And most importantly, and I think this is really something that is not seen clearly enough, in the Platonic world, there's a great skepticism against scripture, against the written word. And there are two main criticisms. It's in Platon's 7th letter. The first one is that it will replace memory. Once we write down things, we don't have to remember them by ourselves, and it will then lead to a decrease of our personal memory. But the second one is much more important, because the Platonic criticism is that when you write, you can pretend to know things that you cannot defend in dialogue. You just pretend that you know something because you take it from somewhere else, you write it down, you don't have to defend what you wrote in dialogue, because then it would show that you have not the slightest clue of what you are talking about. Now, the chatbot machine is based on that very mistake. It takes the scripture that exists, simulating something without ever being open to the dialogic challenge that would be the normal challenge for someone who knows something or doesn't know something. And if you think it really in broad terms, and I do think it's a watershed event with this chatbot, not only in terms of the humanities, not only in terms of the book culture, because I think future historians will mark the year 2023, 22 as an event where you judge books differently. Were they written before or after the chatbot era? And this is, I think, not a small event. And if you think in broader terms, I think our culture, if we want to address it as a Socratic culture, is based on these Socratic virtues of the primacy of the question, of the beauty of not knowing things, of the beauty of dialogue. And now we have a machine that turns everything around. And I see the beauty, the fascination, and the potential of that invention. It's extremely powerful, and it's extremely convincing once you use it. But I'm afraid we're losing that other idea of who we can be. So I don't applaud the effort. And I'm very much afraid that future generations will lose some sense that we still have of the importance of the question. I hope we find a way to deal with that invention. But my hopes are very slim. I think it's powerful and it will overwhelm us in many ways.